My name is Nariba Shepherd.
And I'm Justin Arnett Graham.
And this is Terms of Service. You know what? Better.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
I was feeling a little weird about it because we've not been here in like three Sundays.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And also,
I can't sing that.
Maybe you're bringing that Boston energy. Welcome back.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boston was a time. It was Chicago cold.
I mean, I believe that.
Like literally the entire time that it was like 30 degrees here, it was 5 degrees there. But it's not Burlington, Vermont, which was negative 10. Fair. So I'm going to take it.
Well, again, welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm having like some anxiety because my family's crazy, but I'm feeling better with every sip of coffee that I take.
I hear that. I feel that. And I received that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How's it been here? What did I miss?
I mean, we're still in this pandemic spin cycle.
Yep.
So
CPS is back to school, though, on Tuesday.
They're back to school. So
after being
But,
assholes.
not fully back to school, though, because the kids are fed up.
The kids are. I saw on the Instagrams in the air.
The kids are all right. So I feel like
they're doing the work.
Yeah.
Just like how American Airlines has Wi-Fi on the flight now. I felt like an old person. I was like, I could be on stuff while I'm in the air.
This is entirely true, but you can only be on their shit.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, you can't be on your own shit unless you want to pay for the company that will not be named that you pay to make sure you can check your fucking email on a flight.
Oh, dang.
And actually, before we get into this reminds me of a friend of mine who simply does not care at all about just texting in the air. And I'm like, you know what? If a plane goes down,
that's what I'm
fucking
saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just like, how dare you?
I text someone on the ground my seat number every time I fly.
She's like, I think I'm over the Pacific Ocean. I was like, one, how do you even have service? And also, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And also, we are never traveling together. Ever.
I freak out every time the airplane mode has not been met before we start taxiing.
Oh, I just go ahead and I cut the shit all the way off.
I'm like, why are they telling me to turn it off? I should listen.
Oh, yeah. But, supposedly technology has gotten better. But,
Allegedly.
I digress. And I'd like to welcome our guest.
Yes.
Did that rhyme?
Yes.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am cheesing right now because Jeremy and I are both really big fans of this podcast.
Yeah!
We love it.
We've been listening to it since its origin. And so just watching that banter at the beginning of this was a real treat for me. Because I'm not cooking eggs. That's what I'm usually doing. I'm usually preparing my meal and I'm listening to you speak. You're part of my day, and this is just great for me. Real treat.
I'm working on being better about this. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
not crawling out of my skin.
Is the first.
Yes. Receive it, Nariba. Yes.
Listen, I've been watching RuPaul, and I understand now. How are you going to love someone else if you don't love yourself?
Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, I'm tired.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know how long you two have been outside of the industry, but
it's the crack of ass.
I'm just so happy to be here. Like Zach said, I was actually just listen to your last episode on the way here. So that opening banter is just like, I'm watching it happen.
I was like Cheshire Cat, grin ear to ear.
But tired, but so excited to be here because 3.5 hours of sleep is all you really need, right?
I understand that life.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
It's like the REM cycle situation. So technically what you did was, if you slept for 2.5 hours, you didn't hit the full REM cycle because it happens
the
in 3 hours.
Sleep?
Yeah. So when you wake up, you feel a little bit, what's that word I'm looking for? A little crazy because
disassociated?
Your brain is your body's trying to catch up with your brain.
Yeah, that's why I showed up here an hour early. I forgot.
What?
I literally woke up and bolted out the door.
Oh my god.
And then I sat outside.
Aww.
Even though 4 hours ago in the car, we were like, okay, 9 a.m., right?
Yeah. My brain just didn't get it. It was like, okay, great. So you have to leave and be there by 8. And you're like, no, you don't.
No.
Wow.
That's what time we have to be here.
Yeah.
I wake up at 6:30 because
I wake up at 6:30 as well, but I lay there.
I can't lay
PM?
there.
AM.
Yeah, I know. That just sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. And I just lay there, completely lay there. And I'm like, but can I imagine how much better I will feel once I get 5 minutes? 5 more minutes. And then 5 minutes turns into 7. 7 turns into 12.
See,
And
I
then
do that, but in
12
reverse.
Is 15. And I'm just like, Justin, if you don't get up. I've actually started having like fucked up alarms to where it's just like, this is your final opportunity.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm just like, God.
I've got nice soothing music for the first few alarms. I set 8 for today, by the way. 'Cause,
Nice.
Like, it's bad. Like, I need my 5 minutes of snoozing as long as I can. But the last alarm is like a bad alarm. Like can't say it. Whatever. My phone has its own like really bad one, and it's just like wah wah. And I'm just like, okay, that's when I know.
it's a hazard sound.
I gotta go. I'm
it's
late.
like a nuclear blast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
I'm glad you both are here.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We're so excited to be here.
Yes, thank you.
So, like, do you want to tell us a little bit about what y'all are up to?
We're gonna
what
skip
you're
our
doing?
signs?
Yeah, I was
I
waiting
just
for
like,
you
because
guys
I
to-
was just like,
listen,
I'm
this
sorry.
new printout that we
Remember,
have.
long time fans here.
Oh,
You
no.
know.
That's
I
fine.
feel okay.
That's
you're
fine.
correct.
No,
you're correct.
Absolutely. I was like, no, not yet, not yet.
I'm
So,
just.
Zach and Jeremy, what are your signs?
Okay, I'll start. And the reason I also was like, excuse me, we're gonna skip this because I love that you will either just go in on people or be like, oh my God, we're meant for each other.
I am going to read you now.
Oh,
is
God.
what's happening.
So you're gonna tell me what I am?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
please.
No. You have to give me
okay.
the.
I'm a Pisces. That's not the good face. She's
No,
like,
it
I
just-
don't fucks with you.
No, it just makes perfect sense. I fucks with Pisces because Aries are the beginning of the zodiac sign
I don't think
and
your face caught
Pisces
up
are
with
the
that, but
end.
that's fine. Okay.
So like we are perfectly balanced for each other because where I am like, let's burn this shit to the ground. You're like, but maybe let's talk about it before we get to the final
That's
point.
Jeremy,
do it.
too. It's
Yeah,
But, like,
but why?
why?
Yes,
Yeah.
Pisces is the but why. They're
Right.
they're down to ride, but it's like but why? Are you a?
I have something in Pisces. I know that.
Oh, one of the 3 things that people say double things that.
Like
It's I don't know if
I'm a
it's your
rising
rising or your
something.
moon. I don't think it's your rising or your moon because we're both Virgo
We're definitely gonna have to do
risings.
this. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this chart thing.
110%.
Yeah. Sweet.
No, Pisces. Are you a February or March?
Yeah, February 23rd.
Oh,
What?
happy early birthday.
Oh. Ding, it's coming
Well,
up. It's
yeah.
coming up.
Well,
My
it's-
birthday's February 11th, so
Aw,
yeah.
happy early birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Remember last year when you called me and you were like, no one said happy birthday to me on the thing, and my cousin pointed it out. He was like, does anyone like you? Because no one said happy birthday.
To me?
Yeah, on the recording, when we were recording and it was gonna drop on your birthday, and you're like, it's my birthday. And Max and I were like, we are working right now.
That is right. Oh, wow.
You called me and you're like, my cousin was like, y'all don't even like me. Are these your
Damn.
friends? I remember. I will not forget.
Yeah, well,
She burned
it's
into my memory
it's-
now.
It's gonna be
That's
a
big
while
Aquarius
for me to now
energy.
unpack that. So thank you for reminding me of that. That was
But wait,
great.
What
But
about
Zach,
you, Zach?
what is your
Zach.
sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
Go!
Yes. Y'all crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I knew that was one of the,
oriented, but fun.
It's funny because when you and I first met, I remember not knowing much about it, and I remember bonding with you about that. And that was 8 years ago.
That was a while ago.
Also, happy early birthday, Jeremy. My birthday's January 27th, so
Oh,
Ooh,
happy
early
birthday.
birthday. Oh my
Wait,
God.
this episode drops
on your birthday.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'm turning 30.
Oh, yay.
All right.
Aw.
Justin met me when I was 22.
Yeah.
A baby.
little bit.
I was a
wee
little
bit.
baby.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But like the absolute sweetest. So, oh my God.
That's
yeah.
what. Okay, so this is the thing with Aquariuses, though. Y'all are sweet,
Thank you.
but
Justin's the
y'all,
sweetest human being ever.
but y'all can like read someone to shreds.
Down.
Yes,
Down.
110%.
The library stays open. over
Yeah.
here.
Hate that.
It's like you don't want to often come with your own thoughts to an Aquarius because you know that they're going to be like, okay, but how is this like helpful long term?
So
You're not wrong.
that is a really great point because I had a very trying morning not too long ago, and just being on the phone with this woman, it just made me think of this TikTok that I came across, which
TikTok is the devil.
Yeah, to anyone that is listening, don't have TikTok on your fucking phone because it is a time suck.
Yeah, I don't.
Because it's
Remember
just,
when you said we should have a TikTok?
well, so
Well, for promoting, it's different for your.
yes. But so, yeah, this woman that I was speaking to is just giving me like this nasty ass attitude, and I'm just like, you're gonna go ahead and try and bark at me with your Jessica Simpson fucking flats on?
Oh my God.
I was like, are you serious right now? Like, you're gonna give me a hard time? You're not even rocking a fucking heel right now? You're not giving me any fucking
You're not
energy?
even trying
Yeah,
to
it's just
get
like,
close to God.
and I'm
You're
just
just
like,
down
and-
there flat as
right,
fuck.
and I'm just like, if today is not your day, I am sorry about that, but you need to check that nasty ass attitude before you fucking walk outside.
Take it all the way
Take it all the way down.
to your pissy pamper wearing ass grandmother. That's what you need to
In your
fucking
Jessica
say.
Simpson fucking flats on. Okay? Tell me you're the head of HR without telling me you're the head of HR.
Hi, my name's Karen.
Damn.
Yeah,
But they do try to be Karen.
but not caring.
There it is.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I see
see
what you did
I know.
there.
It's just
Wow.
It's effortless for you.
I just gotta.
Do you write these
Gotta do-
down before you?
No, it just kind of floats at
It
the end.
does.
Okay.
You know,
It's to the
impressive.
point where if I hear something bad enough, I will like send it to Justin immediately.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
like 80% of the time, he has not heard it yet.
Sure. Yeah.
It's great. It's classic.
Yeah.
I
So,
do have
thank
to
you.
tell you, I straight up stole, as they say in the furniture business.
Oh my God.
Cheers! Thank you.
Why are you taking it into the world?
My partner, her Uncle Danny's a gem.
love
What a
Uncle Danny.
gift to humanity. He just does those kinds of jokes, call them dad jokes or whatever. And I said it around for Christmas Eve, and he lost it. And I was like, cannot take credit for that, but you're welcome. You are so welcome.
That makes me so happy. Yay. So, Nariba.
Yes. Yes.
You got
Wait,
it.
that does
can you
feel
open
so good.
mine because my nails are.
Yes, absolutely.
I used to be able
Fri-
to do. Thank you.
Friends helping friends. This
I don't
makes
know
me
what
happy.
happened. We had a family gathering on Friday. Ooh,
Yes,
that athletic
Athletic
stout.
Brewing.
We like
Give it
that.
to me.
Yes, shout out to our friends at Athletic Brewing, excuse me.
I was gonna say on Friday
I was
night
like,
I sliced my
Nariba,
finger
let me tell
open,
you.
opening a can, and did not recognize it because I was drinking the rum of my people. Because when Trinities get together, it's hard not to drink rum and cokes, which I never do in my like regular life. But it was like,
I'm immediately hearing the imitation
I know.
of your mother
oh my God.
having you make her a rum and coke when you were 8 years old. in
Oh,
Trinidad.
okay. So, a little sad. My Aunt Marjorie passed away on Tuesday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
to hear
okay.
that.
She
Sorry.
was very old. Her birthday, I
That's
think
a
she was going to
blessing.
turn like
That is a
90
blessing.
or 92 this week. We were supposed to have a big party, but she Betty Whited it. RIP to another one.
Damn.
Bow out gracefully.
Yes.
Yes.
And the first time that I bartended ever was when I was 8 for the backyard parties after Carnival in Boston. And I would just like, they would be like, all right, so you're going to stand behind this bar and like occasionally we're going to come check on you, but this is the basic setup. Because Trini people don't fucking play. You have to have a designated
8-year-old.
Yes, essentially.
I cannot tell you how much I relate to that. Like so in my family, my dad, he had his adult water cup.
Yes.
We'll say. And like it would just be, and his was Southern Comfort and Diet Coke. That was his like resting drink.
When
which
you
is
said Southern
very sweet.
Comfort, my entire body went into goose pimples because I absolutely cannot.
I cannot either, but I started thinking about SoCo Lime.
I drink it twice a year, and it's
SoCo Lime?
no, Southern Comfort, not Sogo Lime. Absolutely not. No, I drink it once on my dad's birthday and once on the anniversary of his passing, and like but like it was the same thing. I remember in that, and he would have parties, and he'd have me as a young child, bring him like, oh, bring me this, and it was like a party trick. He'd like, it was like Glenfiddich was what he drank, and he would be like, here, and he'd like, hey, do you want to take a sip? And I'd be like, ugh, and then everyone would go, ha 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 ha.
Yes.
And then at one point I was like, ew, this is gross. And he goes, you're not allowed to make me drinks anymore. Because he knew I was kidding.
I was like, in Trinidad, for the longest time, there wasn't a real, like, drinking age. So they have, like, shandies, which originally started off as, like, 3% alcohol content. And now it's down to 0.9 because it tastes like a soda.
Well, yeah.
And kids were drinking it. So now they just made it under 1%. So that it
everyone can have
can
it.
exactly.
So
everyone
there's not
can
a
have
bunch
it.
of fucked up little kids.
Well,
like,
I was one of those fucked up little kids because I had like 8 of them at a like party, and I was like, oh no, oh, this is not good. In retrospect, what I should be saying is that children should not be drinking, maybe, and
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
we
definitely.
do not
Absolutely.
condone it.
Not at all.
But
Right.
This is before times. This is before 2008. Everything got different
the before
then.
times. Yeah, the before times.
2008.
2008 was the
Times.
cutoff point.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was, you know,
08?
before the Ponderosa, the pterosaur, and what was
I'm now just saying we're in a panini press because it used to
That's
be a
fair.
panini,
That's fair.
but
That's
it's the press now because I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, because I mean, we're just pressed in
Does
general.
anyone know,
I don't know what
Not-
doing?
No, not at all. And before we get into it, I would like to say that I would have really enjoyed if someone was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Just say it.
Just
I would respect you a little
Right.
bit more. Just saying.
please acknowledge it instead of like, you know,
It's okay.
whatever
Just
we have been in.
Like a basic message of like, listen, when we know, y'all will know.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
that's the best I can do for you.
Exactly. Because
we were set
I'm
up
not
for
trying to
failure a
go over
while
there
ago.
until I know who all is coming.
Like-
so at this point, that's how I feel.
And the things that they're putting out on the fucking White House
Don't
like
Woof.
yeah.
website is crazy. It's basically like, we're gonna let you figure it out, and like, here's some resources. Google it, bitch.
It's very. You know what? Fuck around and find out.
yeah, we're in the find out era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the memes that have been getting me are the CDC memes. They're like
Oh.
CDC reports. If you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
die. Please die.
110%.
All of those that have been popping up, I'm just like, or like
The
CDC says like live your
it's
best
now,
life. Yeah, or
yeah. The
something
CDC
like, yeah.
says it's now cool to text your ex.
Yeah.
Yeah, those have been really
There's
getting me.
one of my favorite one, which I think was a recycle from like when COVID first hit, and we were all just like, memes were giving me like saving everyone.
Yes.
But it was like, a CDC says it's not sparkling. It's not.
Oh,
CDC
yeah.
says it's not a
It's
pandemic
not-
unless it's from France, and it's
Exactly.
sparkling COVID or something.
Oh, yes.
I was like, oh my
Yes,
god,
yes.
give me this.
Yo, my fiance
More.
tagged me in that because I've been on this thing recently when I've been going, because she's at the point in time now where all of her friends are getting married. So we're doing a lot of brunches and
Yes.
bachelor parties and whatever things.
Woo!
And
All of
it's,
that. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
all keep calling like Corbel, like champagne, and I'm like, it's
It's
not,
just
and
like
they're
it's
like,
not.
and so I keep doing it. I was like, technically, and so she just tagged me in it, and then tagged me, double stamped me on it.
Oh
Like,
my
I was like,
God.
yeah,
Savage.
that
It's
checks
a
out.
brand. Don't
Oh, yeah.
worry about it. It's fine. Wait, what's your partner's sign?
Yo, you know I'm marrying an Aquarius. She was 2 days before me, except for a year.
I
2
feel like
years
that's
later.
a very common one.
It-
Y'all can marry each other.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could never be with an Aries. We would burn
Damn.
each other to the ground. I could literally
All
never
you
do
Aries
it.
out
Yeah,
there.
I was just
do
like-
not approach her.
Yeah, I was
No.
just like a disclaimer for any possible guests in the future. You know,
No,
But yeah.
like I'm friends with a lot of Aries, but I couldn't be in a romantic relationship with someone because I already know that I'm a lot, you know? And like, we don't want to do that to the world.
okay.
See, the thing about the Aquarius is we know we're a lot, we know we're absolutely insane, and we're thinking about everything, but we also will talk about it
Yes.
exhaustingly. So like when you say communication is key, like you say that, and then you see us communicate, and you're like, okay, did you need to go that deep? And we're
But
just
you
like,
do it in the moment.
oh yeah, absolutely.
See?
It's,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
See, I'm just like, I'm not trying to go too far in the past, but like even this working relationship with this platform, I was like, you know what? I have these updates, but also let me check in.
Yep.
Hi. And then they'd be like, what? And I'm like, well, I don't want to just text you something and without checking in first.
In the beginning.
And it's like,
I
well,
can't need
Justin,
something from you.
Right.
So
but
nice
then,
of you.
But when I tell you that the general consensus was just tell me what the fuck you need.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, fine.
Because other people were like, Justin, you never say hi, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is a work group chat. Max and I know that if you're texting in here, it is work related. Like, hey, how you guys going? Do you really want to know, or do you just want to tell us something?
Just get to the point.
Yeah,
Or-
I'm just
but
like, oh,
then
I'm
the
like,
flip
you know,
side of that-
that sounds really cool. Oh, also, can you make sure that you know, it's like, but have a great day, bye.
And the flip side of that is that if we call each other, it's never less than a 2-hour conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
As soon as we get, it's like a whole podcast episode every
Oh,
time
for
we
sure.
get on the phone.
Yeah, it's like a deluxe episode.
I'm trying to get off the phone as soon as I'm on it.
Oh, when I met Jeremy.
Same, but
Oh, not me. I'm the person that I will call. I'll call one of my friends in the middle of the day. And Jeremy and I have known each other for
Over a decade.
11 years or so now.
Yeah.
We've known each other for like over 11 years now. And so I grew up in a part of St. Louis, and Jeremy grew up in a part of St. Louis. And when we met in college, we had two friend groups that kind of merged. And
nice.
then when we originally met, they had to get used to, their whole friend group had to get used to me calling. Like I would just call in the middle of the day and be like, hey, what's up? And they're like,
So stressful.
what's up? Can I do something for you? I was like, no, man, I just wanted to check up, see how you're doing.
Just thought about
How's
you.
your day? I'm walking to work.
I think someone's dying when they call me.
Oh, yeah.
Like straight up.
Well, it's funny because I feel that way when people call me, but when I call other people, I'm just like, and they had to get used to it, and they're just
real.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just like, why is this phone ringing?
I don't
understand.
use the phone for its. Think back to its original purpose, like
Yeah,
that.
we
I
know,
just
yeah.
don't do that. I don't want to do it.
Fair.
I don't like. I get anxiety on the phone, and that's like the only time I feel anxiety for the
I have a
most part.
theory about that.
What's that?
Okay, when you were growing up, did you have a corded phone?
Big time.
Okay, was it like the punch one or the dial one?
Not the rotary.
I had a fucking rotary, bitch.
I had both.
I had both.
You had
Yeah,
both?
started with a rotary, and then I had that long cord,
Yes.
like this.
The one that you could whip around.
And you're like, I don't want anyone to hear my conversation. She like run around a corner and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
stretch this thing
Yeah,
out.
that was me at my grandmother's house. I was just like, excuse me, and I just pull this long ass cord. She's like, don't be pulling this long ass cord through my living room, and I was like, I'm just talking to.
I feel
whoever
like
who's gonna let me
people-
talk for 2 hours on the phone. So that.
Did you guys have separate lines?
At my grandmother's house?
Never
Oh,
mind.
hell no.
Never mind.
No.
Are you talking about party lines?
Yeah, like I knew friends who were like, I have my own phone
Calling
line.
into
I'm
party
like,
lines,
we
dude.
are 8.
You guys living in mansions? Like, what's
Like, what
going
the
on?
fuck?
No.
This is a pre-date thing. Like I
Yeah.
didn't have them, but like
Yeah, a party line was a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that it was the original clubhouse.
Dang.
Heard that.
Just gonna put that out there.
Heard chef.
Okay.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
we have touched upon quite a few things already. Shocking. I know.
Nothing on the agenda.
Yeah,
Not
no,
on the
you know,
agenda.
but you know, we're getting there. So you both are from St. Louis,
Yes, we are.
the land of fried ravioli and the St. Lunatics.
Yes, the St. Lunatics, and
Okay.
yes to toasted raviolis.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
wait,
it's
no,
called
is it toasted
toasted.
ravioli?
It's toasted
And
raviolis. and they have-
T-Ravs if you're
T-Ravs.
T-Ravs.
But it is fried.
It's,
and there's meat in
it's
it.
meat, not cheese.
Not cheese.
That's the kicker. And then you have to have it with some sort of marinara
Marinara
sauce,
sauce.
specifically a sweeter marinara sauce.
So is fried ravioli not a thing? Oh, it's just-
Toasted.
No, so fried ravioli is not a thing when it comes to the context of St. Louis.
Well, that's not what you call it.
No, we just
It's
call it
I,
T-Ravs.
like I said,
Toasted
it is fried, but they call it toasted.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. do y'all like live in a mansion or something? No, I was like, I don't
You got to
know.
class it up.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, it's nice.
These are my toasted ravioli.
Chill.
It's like, oh.
Saying
Now I
we're
want 'em.
very particular about a few things in regards to food, and
Okay.
that's about
Pizza,
it.
pork steaks, toasted raviolis, and
fake cheese that we like to put on our pizza.
And then what's the dessert?
Gooey butter cake.
There it is. Gooey butter cake.
Gooey
I
butter
fucks with
cake.
gooey butter
That's
cake.
a St. Louis thing, yeah.
Okay.
Make it into a cheesecake.
So
Okay,
good.
wait. So I've had it, but the person that made it is from Arkansas. Crystal, I love you.
My
But
family's
to
from
me,
Arkansas.
it tastes like a cheesecake that has been like crusted on the top.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just having a moment thinking about eating it.
Yeah.
I know you. There was a question there, but now I'm just thinking.
I just
about
wanted to
eating.
know, is it like a cheesecake-ish situation?
I would, depending on where you get it. Like if you get it
Okay.
from Schnucks.
What the fuck is that?
Shout out.
It's one of our local
one of our
grocery
local
stores.
grocery
Deerbergs and Schnucks.
It used to be my dream
okay.
as a child to be a bagger at Schnucks. That was my dream and goal in life.
There's still time.
And and I wanted to own a conversion van, but
Wow, dude.
I don't know. I had big goals, big
Yeah.
Big dreams.
dreams, really
Well-
big dreams, really big teams.
What are? How did your
I
dreams
didn't even know what
lead
to say. I was
you
just like,
to
that's great.
the young
Nice.
industry?
Nice transition.
Oh,
Thanks.
yeah, we finally
Sometimes,
transitioned
yeah.
into it.
Boom, on it.
Actually, I fell in love with this. I mean, I've been bartending as you have since a very young age.
Yes.
Very young
very
age.
young age.
Honestly, for me, I remember vividly there was a point. So I'm an Eagle Scout. I have to say it.
I was in the
it's a
cadet
thing.
force in Trinidad, so
Check it. I mean, that's the thing. If you're an Eagle Scout, everyone has to know it. It's like being vegan or something.
fair. Yep.
But
It's true.
I remember.
Fly high. Fly
Yeah.
high. Is that the
No.
is that the tagline? I was like,
Wow.
No.
I was like,
No.
no.
Justin was like, did I get it?
I was like, did I nail it? Consensus? No.
No.
Carry on.
Yeah, no, I remember my role in the Scouts for my troop or whatever was the cook, and I just really enjoyed like cooking for everybody. And then we were supposed to rotate roles, and I did, but they just kept me as the cook because I liked doing it.
Yeah.
I like just cooking and like serving people food and making them happy. And
They
I realized,
played you.
yeah, I mean, it was just like a point of like hospitality. Like, we would be out there like in the woods like for days, like scavenging and all this kind of stuff, and then I would be the one that got to cook the food and serve it to people, and I just enjoyed that, and I liked making people happy, and everyone would sit around the fire and eat, and I just really love spirits. I've always had a really big interest in, and I come from a family of bartenders, like deep. Like my parents were salespeople, their parents were bartenders.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my grandma Fish, who just passed away this last year, she gave me all of her bar equipment when she passed, and all of her bottles, which were like the greenest of the green creme de menthe from like the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she was a bartender. She raised 5 kids while her husband was in the military, and then also got her master's degree and paid for it while bartending.
Wow.
Come
Dang.
on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dang.
Get it,
All right.
girl.
I'm just like, do the thing. That's
yeah.
amazing.
Strong women raised me. What about you, Jeremy?
What about me? What
How'd
was
you
the
get
question?
into this?
Oh, my dad was like, get a job. No, but kind of for real, that was it. I wanted things when I was. Thank you. My goodness, this looks delicious.
Yeah, it does.
And we're gonna go ahead and talk about this a little later, but continue. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to buy things. I wanted to go out, and we weren't super well off. And so he was like, "Well, you want to buy stuff for yourself? Get a job." And so I got a job at this place called Fortel's Pizza, which is like a local
Fortel's
pizzeria.
Pizza Day.
Yeah, and it was great. And then I guess I just, continued in the industry because it made sense working, going to school and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try this drink because I'm more distracted with this drink than I am with what I'm saying.
Is she 1 or 2?
That
It tastes
is
like 2 to me.
Oh my
delicious.
goodness.
Yes.
You
So
gotta get some of that rim.
Yeah, a little bit of tahini.
So again, we're gonna talk about this later in the episode, but we are starting to do this thing called Shop Talk, where we want to highlight doers and makers within all elements of the hospitality space. And we have a lovely individual here who has made drinks for us for this episode, and we'll circle back on that. But yeah, thank you. This is great. Oh, that is
Doers,
correct.
not
Doers.
Makers.
Yeah, doers.
I was-
and
Scotch.
makers.
Yeah, of course.
There we go.
Oh, quick question. Is this a hot pep?
No. She a red pep.
There you go.
She read
Ooh,
that.
we like that. We like that.
And so I feel again like this is like a natural transition to your backgrounds and the things that you have touched upon. But talk about you two working together
In
How-
a profesh way now.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and then
We know that you
know,
guys love each other. We
Yes.
can see it in your eyes.
Yes,
it's true.
and we can feel it.
Yeah.
So.
Aw.
So Jeremy and I both
It's part of
actually.
the ambiance. Yeah, I took
Oh
that.
my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy and I, it was something. So Jeremy and I actually both got into the bar industry at around the same time in Chicago, roughly 8 or 9 years ago. And I mean, we'd both been in the industry before that, but specifically bar-wise, and then more specifically craft cocktail bar-wise.
Okay.
I started as a barback. I was also trying to run a professional dance career at the time, which was going well, but I was very busy and very tired all the time. But I just have this natural like work ethic, craftsman.
You know what that is? That's that Aquarius. Y'all motherfuckers
Too much.
will like do it 110% and then get mad if no one helps you, even though you don't ask for help, even though people offer it 100% of the time.
Oh man, you just read me like a
this
book.
side
I'm
of the table.
just
Going into him right now.
I feel.
No,
I,
he was going in on both of us.
It's
yeah, I feel
because
violated.
Yeah,
it's because
that
my
was
like
deep.
best friend is Rochelle, and that bitch don't quit. I love her.
This guy loves to take on way too much and then bitch about it.
But I always do it really well.
No, you do it really well, but then you're like, I'm just so busy. I'm like, yeah, you make your own schedule.
That's also true.
Yes, that's
And you know what's
110%.
I feel you.
You know what's
I feel
funny
you.
though? The only
Okay.
person I know that is busier and hustles harder than me is my fiance, and she's an Aquarius, and that's real. You really
You guys
read
are
me.
just
There you go.
feeding off of each other. You're gonna
and then
own
we
shit.
explode.
Y'all are gonna like.
and it's literally then we explode.
But no, yeah, we were like, I mean, he's a dancer. I was doing acting, improvisation, and stuff up here. So it was just kind of naturally both moved out of college, moved up here with actually a huge group of friends. Yeah, a crew. We were mobbing deep for a while. And like, it just made, that always made sense. Okay, we're pursuing our dreams while also just making money, right? That's how it is for a lot of people. And so we started around the same time, but just like our trajectories were very, very similar. Like he was saying, of like, okay, we're just making money doing this to subsidize us and pursuing our dreams. And then all of a sudden,
There was a
around the
point.
same time, it was like, we gotta, something like clicked of like, oh, we're actually kind of good at this. Or we were given the
It was-
opportunity to.
For me, it wasn't even that, and I think you too. It wasn't that. It like I wanted to work in craft cocktails. Like I wanted to make actual cocktails. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I knew I wanted it.
Yeah.
And then, around about the same time, Jeremy and I both kind of like. I remember having a conversation with you, and we were both like. So I really like this industry. Like I really like this. I love dance. It will always be my passion. I still do it, but like it changed. My focus, my scope changed, and I immediately was like, I really want to focus on this. And Jeremy was like, me too. And Jeremy had some really strong mentors that got to really like. Honestly, I think took him under in a time he wasn't ready or expecting it, and then just like that, it just flipped. I watched it happen to Jeremy, and the next thing you know, we're like coming back to because we lived together, like with 9 other people.
As one
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Times are weird
Shout
now.
out to the Brotel.
Gotta do it.
Not the brotel.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I remember like we were coming home and being like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get my first cocktail on the menu. And like, what menu are you designing? Like, and us like working because we never worked at the same place. We always knew we wanted to work together, and it was always a dream of both of ours. It's always been my dream to open up a bar. Like it's always has been, even since I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was a bar / arcade and bowling alley, of course. Because
So
that's
sick, dude.
I was also raised in bowling alleys,
Yes.
so that's. But like, and then Jeremy was like, yeah, and I knew we always wanted to work together. But like it was that getting that opportunity of those mentors, of those people that really cared. Like shout out to Amy Probasco, Sauce.
Yes, Sauce. Hi, Amy. I love you so much.
It's funny because everyone calls her Sauce, and I still call her Amy Probasco because she was my manager. But she was the first person that ever gave me a shot at bartending when I was bar backing, and that's what I'm saying. Like I was not just like I was raised, brought up, and trained by very, very strong women.
And you did all the steps. You didn't just like lie to someone and be like, yeah, I have experience, and like then you're on the floor and people are frustrated because like they're like, well, we don't have time to teach you, because that's training isn't a thing that people like to do.
I remember when I was a wee little bar back, which I was like, take that Aquarius energy, I was an excellent barback. I loved running around at the place that I worked at the time, 5 floors. I'd run up and down, grab everything. And I remember being like, I think I'm ready to bartend. And then the head bartender that at the time her name was Tiffany. Do you remember Tiffany? Love that woman.
Absolutely.
And she was like, great, so are you the best barback? And I was like, here. And she goes, no, are you the best barback that you can be? Are you the best at your job? And I was like, she just channeled my Aquarius energy like that, kind of like how you just did. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Just
and
like
she was
that.
like, great, when you are, then you can be a bartender.
Ooh,
and then like I worked for 3
Yeah.
more months, and then they approached me, and I was like, oh man, that did it for me. So
Y'all are like proven by action.
I
It's
have
not
to.
a lot of talk. It's like, I can do it though, and I'm gonna make sure you see it.
And that's actually why, that's what I look for when I train. When I train and when I find people, it's not, I don't need to know that like on paper you're great at this. Like I just need to know you and see that you can do it.
Yes.
And I will build you up. That's another thing. Aquarius can gas up.
Oh,
We gas
oh
up.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Make
God.
you feel really good about yourself.
It's true.
But then when you miss it, it's like, then I'm just like, please don't. Like, you're good. You can just be here. I'll do your job and my job, and I'll be
my
fine with that.
God.
That disappointment, that
Yes.
deep disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things I always respected about you, Zach,
That
though,
resonates so real. Go on.
something I've always respected about Zach is, I mean, I was so blessed with the people I got to work under. All 3 of them in a row, year by year, won Jean Banchet Best Mixologist. And I was like,
Name him. Drop him.
Julia Momose was the first one. She gave me my start at
Green River.
Green River, baby. She was like, needed someone to bar back, and she gave me my start, and then I did all the prep. I was the ice chef for 3 months. She gave me my start, and I learned a lot of like technique, precision. Like she is a
Organization is like a big
she's
thing
a mad
for her.
scientist. She is so good at what she does. Powerhouse, honestly. And then, but I was lucky enough to get taken then over to this. It was a small bar called Annex that was on the same floor, which was like the speakeasy. I hate that term, but it is what it is. But my true mentor, Amit Gilad, he had come from Tel Aviv. So what a
Hi,
sweetheart.
Amit.
Hi, Amit. He
Hi, Shrek.
took me under his wing. He took me under his wing and secretly trained me over there. I was not supposed to touch a jigger. I was not supposed to do
Yep.
anything. But he gave me, because we're just over here. No one ever came in there. And he's just giving me everything that he had. And he pretty much gave me like all the tools to become successful. And I remember very vividly when like I got to the point where I was like, holy shit, like this is cool. This is art.
I remember
Yeah.
it too.
And
I
it
think
was,
that was the first place that I learned about, like, it started a little bit at Blackbird, but I think because I was part of the opening
RIP.
team of Green River, I got to see a lot more of like the foundation of like building a bar. And it was really great to like work with people who cared in another, like on another level. Like
Yes.
everyone like cares about making a check, but we all individually cared about like the quality of everything going out.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
And-
the integrity of it all.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's when I started learning about like drinking alcoholic beverages with your food. I was like, what?
Pairings.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I love that place was what it was.
it was what it was.
But the people there, like, there were some gems. That was the first time, because I think maybe it was because I was there at 5 a.m. prepping for like 3 months in the start, that like I befriended all the back of house staff, all the cool ones at least. That like, which was usually there's that separation, right,
Yeah.
between front and back. But
Yeah.
Green River, it never felt that way for me, which was truly, truly great.
That's
But I guess
awesome.
what I was gonna say is like there was that moment where I was like, this is beautiful. Like the drinks that I'm creating, this is artistic. I'm finding the same kind of creativity. And I went home and had this conversation with Zach because like I was doing fine, like doing acting and improv. I was consistently on stage, which was amazing. That's what I wanted to do. And Zach was too. And then at the same time, we're like, maybe we're gonna stop doing what our whole trajectory has been just so we can dabble in this other one.
Yeah.
And we haven't looked back. We've continued to do those things, but like we just switched. I didn't realize I could have two passions on the same level.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. They don't really tell you
Well
that
said.
is.
It's lucky.
No,
it's,
they
You know,
don't.
you can like multiple. You can do multiple things.
What's really crazy to me is, you know, obviously, like Jeremy just said, passion's one of my favorite words. I use it all the time. That's actually how I got my first job as a barback. I just said passion like 15 times, and they were like, "You're hired."
Passion,
I think.
passion, passion.
Do you want a job? And I was like, "Yes."
You're like, I'd be really passionate about this.
About
job.
this passion.
Yeah.
And no, I just it's one of those things like when guests come to my bar and they listen to me and we engage in conversation, and I just talk about I'm a nerd. Like I love it so much.
Yeah.
I love talking about drinks. I love talking about the history of drinks, all this stuff. And then the thing that breaks my heart the most is when I see a person sit down and like, wow, I just wish I had something I cared about as much as you care about this. And I think about it and I'm like, I've got two of those things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I also have my partner and my family. You know what I mean? Like, it's
You just said something that I talk about in therapy a lot, but in a positive way.
okay.
Because I very frequently, since I like stopped cooking professionally, have been like, yo, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, honestly. But I forget that I went to school for mental health. And I went through the entire 10-year plan that I had set for myself. And at the end of 8 years, because I knew I wasn't ready to be an executive chef, but I gave it a shot and I did it really well. But like, there's something about mental health that kept me going in my jobs, because you're surrounded by a bunch of people who are really passionate about what they're doing, but they don't talk to each other about what's going on in their own lives because we are not allowed to bring it into work. So I think that I went full circle because what we do is incredible and we create all of these beautiful moments
Yes.
and memories for other people. And those are the same people that dictate how we do our jobs because the rules are built around customer service. So,
But also, like that pendulum is, you know, swinging.
Yeah.
Because it continues to swing.
we're
right?
we're
Because-
trying to like change it in the sense that like putting the humanity back in hospitality. And so like what I'm doing,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do
Yeah,
now is
yeah.
like bring that to hospitality, but it's hard to do it because it's like in sociology where times change, but the government laws don't change to catch up with it. I feel like that's what's happening with the service industry. We're all like, this social change needs to happen, but because customers have been right since the beginning of time.
Or not at all, but that's fine.
I'm doing the supposition.
Yeah.
Suppose
What
they
they
were
tell
right.
I mean,
Right.
at this point
Yeah.
now, the way that I feel like moving forward, and when guests come into my place, specifically during the, what do you call it now?
Panini.
The panini
Panorama.
yeah.
Whatever begins
Yeah,
with
okay,
P.
right.
Ponderosa is one of my favorite.
Ponderosa,
things.
yeah.
Just
So
makes me think
during
of
the
that
Ponderosa,
steakhouse.
like I feel like at this point now, and like granted, I was at the time when I was feeling this when Jeremy and I were at Billy Sunday, like during the post-lockdown. I felt like I was like nurturing my guests. They were coming in and they were like, I just wanted this place to be open again. I wanted to be at this
Yeah.
place.
Right.
I wanted to, I wanted to have an experience in like, that going back to what you first asked about our work relationship, like, so Jeremy had been running Billy Sunday for 3 years before I got there.
Well, I was head bartender for 2, and I had just taken over for about a
That's
year,
what it
I
is.
think.
Yeah, and then, that's when he approached me and he was like, hey man, do you want a couple shifts? And I was like, yeah, I would love, also, like I dropped my resume off when I left my first job, which was Soho. I left Soho, and I walked. I brought my resume around in Logan Square, and I dressed up in a little vest and a bow tie, and I walked around, and I just dropped my resume at the bars, and I walked into Billy's Sunday. This was 7 years ago, and I just walked up, and I walked in, and I was like, "Hello, I would like to apply for a job," and they were just like, "Sure, bud." And then I like turn around and walk out, and I just saw him throw it, and I was like, "Okay." And then, so yeah, obviously, like jump start like 5 years later, and I'm not only getting to. I mean, I wouldn't have been a good place for me to be. I needed to learn. I needed to do my own thing. You know, like Jeremy had these really solid mentors. I just had people that gave me opportunities. And like I had to kind of like veer my way. Like I got way too much responsibility right out of the back when I left Soho. You know, I mean, I was supposed to be just the head bartender, and I ended up being by the end of a GM of a place. And I had a general manager position and a raging alcoholic problem. Oh, because classic. I was a child that didn't know how to run a bar, and I was doing everything.
And trying to do it 100% because you're an Aquarius.
And I was also like in a dance company full time and teaching. So like, you know, that was my early 20s.
But yeah, I guess to wrap up the initial question that we've taken so long, that trajectory of I guess we always knew we would work together. Billy Sunday, because I was in charge, I was able to, I mean, nepotism, baby. I just pulled some of the best bartenders that were my friends in the city and created this haven, this safe place for whatever you identified as, whoever you were, like come work and like let's do the thing. And Zach finally pulling him was like one of the last pieces of the puzzle. He's my right hand man for the
I got to be the head bartender.
It was amazing. And I guess Zach always knew he was going to open a bar. For me, I wanted to open like a theater. I wanted to like, that's what I wanted to do. And eventually, because I wanted all my really talented friends from around the country to perform in it. And now we're going to do both. Like the concept we want to open is cocktail bar performance venue. So like
we should probably say we're opening up a spot.
Yeah, I was about to be like, how long will we go before they?
This is a thing. Yeah, Jeremy and I are opening up, and two of our other partners, Mason and Seth. We are all opening up a bar / performance venue called Lemon.
Lemon.
I was very excited when I heard about this because I love you. I don't know if you know that, but you were like one of the like
just a whole
people that held everyone's shit together at Green River because it was wild.
Oh, Wild West out there.
It was the Wild West out there, and I love it. I got to learn a lot while I was there, but there were some people who weren't very helpful.
Because people like to hoard information because
like
they're afraid that you may pass them.
Come for their job. It's okay, I'm coming for their jobs now.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
That was
I'm not
so
meant for
vicious,
it. I am not for the streets. I am soft. You make this joke a lot. People are like, are you ready to fight? I'm like, listen, I actually can't go to jail because I'm scared. Like, I'm not gonna make it.
Reba, thank you for saying that, because to see you were in a kitchen of white men,
and no women for the first year, other than G
and and you, I respected the shit out of you because you held your own. I never once saw anything from them. You held your own.
They were scared, a little bit scared.
Of course, but like I never saw that energy from you. I just saw you being a powerhouse in the kitchen amongst a bunch of guys, and I loved you. You were amazing inside and out, and I was just like, oh, she good. So thank you. That's very nice to say. I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
Oh my gosh, more drinks.
I'm just gonna ask a clarifying question.
Do it.
Is this pronounced mealy? Okay. I literally was like Googling it on my phone, the pronunciation. I'm like, I don't want to fuck this up. Justin, may I talk about this now?
Look at this nice dill.
Okay.
Look at this dill.
All right, I'm gonna start with the first one because it's like a red pepper delight. I don't know. I taste the peps a lot, but it's called the Smoldering Mealy, an ode in the form of a margarita riff to the Aztec goddess of corn. No, I love it. Featuring a Mexican corn liqueur, mezcal, fresh lime, and a house-made roasted red pepper and ancho chili agave syrup.
I know that's
Bitch.
right, Joe. Yes.
And this
yes.
is this some
right.
tahini
Yes.
on this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Banger. Are we just cheering?
Cheers with your
Fisting shit, everyone?
That's the COVID.
We've also got our
cheers.
athletics, so I'm like triple.
Yeah.
Triple
But that's not
fisting.
alcohol. Wait.
Okay.
Are there's booze in
Yes.
these two, but not in the athletic brew.
No.
Yep.
Heard. Got it.
Okay.
So let's see. We're gonna.
All right. Okay. Getting my smell on.
I'm in my happy place, even though it's so early.
Light.
This is exactly what I need
Well,
right
and
now.
then also what do I refer to these? Imposter syndrome glasses.
Yes, this
Yes.
is imposter syndrome. This
Yes.
is what I wish that I
love
felt
these-
like
I
on a
love
Wednesday.
these glasses, but it just makes me feel like, am I cool enough to like?
Well, I was really hoping I could get a glass that's a little more manly. If that's
Oh,
Favorite
you
thing:
know,
gender
yeah,
identifying
yeah.
glassware.
Yeah.
What's up with
Oh
it?
my
God.
Somebody came in last night at this place that Jeremy and I are at now, and the server dropped a ticket, and it was 2 cocktails that are egg white cocktails shaken up, and I dropped him. He goes, "Oh, actually, can I get this one on the rocks?" I said, and I just without even flinching go, "Did the person that ordered this have a really big dick?" And he just goes, because they don't know me yet.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
they were just like,
God.
and I was like, no, anyway, sorry. I was like, that was inappropriate. And he's like, no, that was great. And I was like, I mean,
we like to call that fragile glasculinity.
That is gonna go into the rest of my life.
Cannot coin that one
Yeah.
either,
Yeah.
but it's pretty good.
Yes,
Dang.
that is solid. And also, Zach, that makes me want to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
So, of all the years we have known one another, but just me sitting at your bar, as everyone knows, I enjoy the rosé, I enjoy the sparkling, just enjoy the wine, you know? The idea of me, like, I always had a preference of a rocks glass, and I never thought of it being like, I never thought of it being like masculine versus feminine or anything like
Okay.
that. I mean, I'm
You're a
gay,
stemless
but,
bitch.
that's all it is.
110%.
I'm just,
You know why? It's because you're tall.
no, I can tell you. Well, that
Stems for days.
Do you know also why?
Why?
Because I'll tell you why I think it is. I think it's because it's really easy to fill up a rocks glass on the fly.
Facts.
I'm just saying, like, I'd walk by,
Facts.
if I'm pouring a bunch of Prosecco or champagne for guests, and all of a sudden I see a rocks glass that's a little low, that's got some bubbly in it, it's pretty easy to just tip the rest of the bottle in there. That's all I'm saying. While somebody just happens to be doing their work on a laptop at a bar,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Noted. Noted.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows my secret, but thank you so much, and hasn't failed me yet. So I really, really appreciate that. But yes, so
Talk about this second drink, right?
Yes.
Okay. Once again, I'm gonna clarify. La Vie en Rosé
Oh.
or okay, La Vie en Rose. Well, I
sing it.
wasn't sure because there's
Don't you?
But usually, I'm not a gin bitch.
Okay.
But this is delightful.
I could change that.
Yeah, I can fix that.
I'm trying. I've been working on
can
liking
fix
gin
her.
for like
I can
2
fix her.
years. Because I didn't like scotch at all, and then I started drinking scotch, and now I don't even drink bourbon or rye anymore. I just
need.
drink scotch. But I'm trying gin now. I'm like, maybe
really
there's
need it.
one out there for me.
Spread it out. I've got a couple of gins I would love to recommend you that are just different
We're
palettes.
gonna talk about that later. All right, so she's in our imposter syndrome glasses today. Gin-based drink boasting of sweet floral elegance. Eleganza. It includes a house-made fennel syrup, a hibiscus and orange blossom aperitivo, fresh lemon, and a splash of rosé. Listen,
It's just delightful.
this
Yeah,
is
I was like, say less. This is
yes,
delicious.
delightful.
It really is.
Thank you so much.
And for those of you who can't see, we just keep saying imposter syndrome glass. It's this beautiful spritz goblet.
yes,
It's a hot
yes.
air balloon flipped upside down with a
Yes.
stem.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
and
what's
that's-
See,
going on.
I'm fucked up. I'm like, it looks a little bit like if you had a breast implant.
Yo, I was
and you just put it on a little pedestal.
I'm
You know
sorry
what I
for
mean?
yelling into the microphone, but I was literally thinking breast implant. You said breast implant, and I was like,
Listen,
You're like, get out of my mind.
seriously, it's
Love
kind
it.
of scary.
I
I'm
watch
scared.
You're like, now
it
I'm a
be
little...
that way sometimes, though. You just gotta tell the truth.
So,
But this is delightful.
also...
Would not recommend this being inside of the breast implant bag, but
This
is a good like picnic or like
Well, and that's great because
Patty-
these cocktails are...
to go.
Yeah. Like
They to
you
go?
can- yeah.
They RTG, ready to go.
Ready to go. Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Bottle, baby. We like that.
Not
Yes.
bonded.
So they most certainly can take this on a picnic or wherever life may take you. So
Wow.
yes, there's that. Well, bringing this all,
Reeling it back in.
Reeling it back in. One thing that I would like to talk about is this idea of like kind of breaking the formulaic cycle that is the industry alongside guest interaction, and then also like the internal culture as well.
Yikes.
Yeah, and
Buckle
I know
up.
it's a big.
Yeah. It's only like what needs to happen and is starting, like we're seeing it. We are starting to see little bits of it happening. You guys keep coming back to one of my favorite episodes with Ryan from
Hi,
Big
Ryan.
Kids. You guys always shout out to that, like the profit sharing they have going. Like Billy Sunday's right next to Big Kids. We probably helped keep them afloat during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Our whole staff was eating there every day, but it was even better once I realized, oh shit, they're all getting paid like the same and well.
Right.
I mean,
I learned how to host there. It was the first time I ever hosted.
picturing you in front of house makes me so happy. Like, love it.
Yeah.
Someone's like, can we get a table for two? You're like, sure.
I was really, really good. I had on my outside voice, not my inside voice.
I love it.
And one thing, so the first and only time I hosted at Big Kids, it's not because I was bad. It's just because they have a full front of house staff, But the first time I did it, I was also bartending on the Riverwalk. First bartending job was this summer. And a couple that was visiting from out of state, I met them at the Riverwalk job. And then before they flew out, they went to Big Kids. And they were like, bitch, do you work everywhere?
Is that by chance?
Just by chance.
They've never been to Chicago. They're like, so
No.
you are Chicago. So you're just everywhere.
Essentially. Yeah.
I think, so in this process of us trying to figure out what lemon is going to be, how are we going to do this, and how can we change these things, as you're asking, is some of the most important conversations we've had. I think we've kind of resigned ourselves to realize that we as business owners are not going to be making a lot of money solely because we want to change as much as humanly possible. And we've sat down with people who are doing it or have done it and have said, like, you cannot change this. You cannot change everything. You have to, but us going into it with this structure, this plan of like, we want to pay you this much. We want benefits. We want, God forbid, some sick leave or paid time off.
Well, and also I think like it's really interesting to like, there's a little bit of like a language shift there because there's a lot of this narrative about, laborers wanting X, Y, and Z. It's just like laborers deserve X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So the idea of wanting access to healthcare is fucking insane because like you deserve access to healthcare.
Yeah, I mean, I think on one of your episodes, like I said, we're fanboys here, so we've listened to them all. You have one of you mentioned, like how much. When is it going to be enough money for an ownership to really start caring? When's that money?
Yeah.
And I think for Jeremy and I, we just want this for ourselves and for our staff, just not to worry about the next paycheck. That's
Yes.
it. It's not about how much money are we putting away to this. Like, yes, of course, doing this is something that we want to do, but I mean, I literally want to die of a heart attack behind a bar that I own. Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I've doubled down so hard on it. I don't feel bad saying that. I feel like anybody that would listen to that statement and say, wow, like, you're a workaholic. It's like, no, I just like what I do that much. And like, during the Ponderosa, a lot of the older guard, you know, they bowed out, and respectfully so. Like, people that we looked up to, people that we would go to their bars just to be fans of theirs and drink their drinks. And, you know, I think that's when Jeremy really approached me about it, because he'd been talking to Mason and was like, yo, man, because we were going to do it somewhere else. Right? There's no way we can do it in Chicago. There's no way. There's no need for it.
Who are we? What do we think we are?
But I mean, we're Chicago bartenders. We both started bartending in the city. You know what I mean? And like, we were raised by amazing people. We were brought up by great people with amazing influences. And now we're that guard. And I think, or at least, I mean, that's me saying it. I mean, we'd like to think that we have some contributions to the work environment that we can. And I think something we really want to focus on is, I can speak specifically to bars. I can't speak as much to restaurants. But there's this weird hierarchy of like, okay, listen, you start as a barback and you're making shit, but eventually you'll be a bartender. And first off, that glamorizes bartending. Bartending is not a glamour. Second off, it devalues the fact that the way I train and the way I talk to any bartender, prospective, employee, guest, anything is, the bar is the barback's bar.
Yeah.
The bartender comes in and works.
Yes.
So if the barback is not doing what they're doing, then the bartender has no business doing anything. They can't. So in order for that to make sense, they have to be valued more.
Yeah.
Also, we were talking about restaurant, like, upper management hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's like GMs. So, right, Jeremy and I had a long conversation about this, and it's like...
Last night,
5 hours ago.
It's fine.
yeah, sorry, 5 hours
I mean,
ago.
we were just like... You know, because we were obviously thinking about how we wanted to talk about this, and one of the biggest issues we have is just setting up positions and roles in companies. So if your barback is making such a respectable wage, there's no reason that a barback needs to become a bartender unless they want to. You can learn as much as you want, but you can also just be great at what you do, and that's awesome.
Support your family.
Support your family. Support your family. Support yourself. Enjoy your time. Do whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, raise that up. Bring the bar to minimum, and then everybody is now filling voids and roles in restaurants because they love what they do and they fit the right space.
Exactly.
Incentivizing management and general management and stuff like that. Like, they're already getting paid less than some of the bartenders get paid, and also they're there all the time. But what they do is they fill them with power voids, they fill them with money, benefits, and security. So it's people searching for security. What we want to do is be like, okay, listen, if everybody's on the same page, why not just find the person in the staff that maybe just will excel not behind the bar, that can just be a leader? Like, instead of seeing, like, waving this, like, dangling this fishing line in front of somebody, you're just like, hey, you're really good at leading and talking to this staff. Would you like to maybe step aside from bartending and run this floor and not have to worry about taking a pay cut or being here longer than you need to be?
Hell yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
or better yet, they approach us. How do we create an environment? How do we create a place where someone wants to stay, God forbid, more than a year, 5 years, and then wants to come up to us as owners? It's crazy to think that, but like, come up to us and be like, hey, we would love to be a bigger part of this thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And then we can go, great, want to buy into our company? Yeah. If you want to take this step, here's what you get.
I do
rather
like that.
rather than dangling things, they should want to feel, I can come to you guys and say, I have these qualities, I have these leadership, I feel comfortable in this space. What can I do for you?
That comes through the way that you're training and talking to people. It's giving them a sense of responsibility and ownership, but also, like, in a sense, you have to earn that trust.
Yeah.
So it's like, the more you spend time with someone, the more that you figure out how your leadership skill needs to work for their learning type. That's how you foster that energy.
just
and
like I know the school should be.
Yeah.
Huh?
But this is just, I mean, no, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I think a funny thing is like, okay, so like, I was talking about this last night. When's the last time you went to a bar that wasn't owned by an owner that somebody you've been working at for 10 years?
Dang.
Now take it back. What about 5? Maybe you can think of a couple.
Yeah.
But like, imagine just opening up a space and somebody being able to say, not only do I love where I work, I love what I do, you get to see amazing talent coming in because we want to book and we want to do these shows and promote local talent. We want a safe space for everybody. I'm a queer person. I want a queer safe space. I want to have a night where we can all sit and enjoy together and maybe just see some art that just reflects the culture that we live in and like, you know, and then also you work there.
Yeah.
And also, if you have your night off, you can have a great cocktail there. When's the last time you saw a show and you had an amazing cocktail while you got to enjoy it? If ever.
Not really.
And that's what we want to. That's what we want to do. Like we want to just have an environment where nobody feels like they can't be there. The staff feels like they can be included. Everybody's a part of an environment. It's a living entity almost. That's what we want.
Well,
and
I went to a sports show during our break.
a sports
He
show.
went to a Sox game.
Yeah, I went to a Sox game.
He went to a Sox game.
I was like, wait, it was a
went to a
musical
baseball
about.
I went to a baseball game. I went to a sports
But listen, this was a big move.
Shut up.
This was a big move for Justin because I'm always like, bitch, did you take a nap? Are you doing something that's not work related?
Right.
Because like if Justin's breathing, he's saying yes to a project. Like,
I know. I
I
get it. I
respect-
don't know, but I know.
Yeah.
I get it.
Do you, Zach? Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm watching the Sox and the Steelers killing it.
oh my
It's a
god.
whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I watched
You know,
the baseball
I
team
said-
play a football team from
It was-
Pittsburgh. It was crazy.
Also, don't sports ball. Steelers is definitely not the team that.
Okay, well, no problem.
It's fine. Just keep going. Sox versus Steelers.
Yeah, they were out there, and I was just like, okay.
It was the third period.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, this is 7.
And then they won the Olympic torch, and it was beautiful.
Wow.
And it was a whole ass show.
Oh, I'm
but
crying.
anyway, it was. I fucking forgot.
He's like, I'm done.
No.
Finish,
Okay,
please.
so it's just like the idea of having something that you enjoy. Oh my god, I'm gonna like fucking like cry trying to think of like this whole thing.
Let Jay-Z wipe your tears.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Just cry onto the plant.
No, it's fine. But it's so funny because I go up to one of the vendors and I'm just like I worked at a brewery for like forever and I don't really drink. I don't drink as much beer as I used to. And I'm like, oh, what kind of wine do you have? And they're like, we have this tiny ass bottle and we have this tiny ass bottle. I was just like, okay, well, like, what can I do for like the bigger bottle? And she just like laughed in my face. And I was like, okay. I was like, is there like an actual like bar? She's like, this is the bar, sweetheart. Have you ever been here?
You're like, no, I've never been to a sports show.
I was like, I haven't.
I can't get that. That kills me.
I'm gonna remember that for a while. It's
Great.
great.
Feel free to use it.
I will.
Sports show.
I will.
I'm gonna teach it to the 6-year-old, and she's gonna just use it randomly at home all the time now.
So, I mean, I say all
Sports
of
show?
that. I say all of it to say that I would love to go to a sports show that has some delicious offerings instead of like that horrible little like prepackaged wine. But also, maybe I'm expecting too much.
You are.
know?
Well, no, you're not.
Thank you.
I mean,
Zach.
you're not. And I think, that's the thing. It's
Jeremy?
like, there doesn't need to be. Like,
I mean, you are right now.
yeah, right now.
But we
That's because we're
should-
not open yet.
Yeah.
And then you can expect
and we're
whatever
not
you
doing
want.
sports shows.
No, I'm now going to produce a show called Sports Show.
Yes.
It's my next choreographic endeavor, and I will
Okay.
produce it at Lemon, and it will be
Yeah.
called Sports Show.
It'll be
I
great.
feel like it should be done in a way that like people are playing bocce in the background of a dance event in the front.
Is it okay
Love
if it's
this.
croquet?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I've never played it, but I will volunteer
Yeah.
to do it.
As tribute?
Yes.
Great.
Bocce's also really fun though.
I love
It is
bocce.
Yeah.
Except the
I'm
first
just
time I
gonna
played
throw
it.
that out there.
Oh, I
No.
see what
I
you're
see
doing.
I
there.
see it.
Yeah.
I
The
didn't want to
twinkle in your
acknowledge, but I did.
Oh my
So,
God.
it's,
Yeah.
you know,
You did it.
Right
yeah.
over that
You know,
head.
it's,
So good. It's seamless.
okay, yeah,
It's amazing.
And also, it just kind of lives up here. So,
But also, I think
Yes.
going back to like the original
Yes.
part of the question once again, I think that a lot of fostering an environment where your staff feels comfortable enough to talk to you also has a lot to do with how we engage with mental and emotional health around having a staff. because people want to say, well, this is work and you got to leave that shit at the ground. But it is no longer 1970. And you can't shed everything and walk into work like that's not going to affect
No, of course.
how you're like creating, how you're crafting your drinks, if you're even gonna taste them. Some people are like, oh, like it's muscle memory and I don't need to taste it. That's fine.
We start
But-
taste every drink. we make it.
Exactly. You have to
Yeah.
know that the feelings go into it. It's like fucking cooking.
Right.
Love is the best ingredient. And if you don't even like what you're doing or like the people that you're working with or
are we
yourself,
doing
A
why are you doing
badass
it?
attitude will sour any fucking thing.
Also, like, I'm gonna talking about that, like keeping yourself like out, like when you walk in, you're in a different like. Let's talk about the pit stop on the way. You're in real life and you're in the restaurant. The pit stop. Let's talk about that. That's the depending on where you work, the drug den. That's the place.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, really, truly, like that's your medicine. Your medicine is what you get when somebody walks in. Like, yo, who's got that Addy? Who's got that what? This, that, and you're just like, and that's
it's
how
like,
they
how
cope.
many hours until we're out of this shit? So we
Drinking
can
at a bar
sit
together.
down.
Yep.
That's camaraderie building in this industry, and that's a fucked up thing.
Because it was given to us as a tool and a form of currency. And in order
Like a
to
pizza party.
the
Exactly.
meme of like the drowning
Yeah, I know.
hand
I had to
and
say
just
it.
like,
and someone just
you know,
hands her a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
It's like, there you go. So
I agree with that 110%. I think it took me walking away from the service industry to realize that drinking during service, after service, and then doing uppers to stay alive so that I can go about the rest of my social life, which is really just like the 5 hours between the end of shift and me sleeping for 3 hours, was like, if this can't be the whole thing, this can't be my whole social experience and life. And I would see people who like go to the gym,
Ugh. How?
sleep for 8 hours, eats more than just the salad at staff meal.
Staff meal.
Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
If
And
you have a staff meal.
Right.
Listen, I always made sure there was staff.
I know you
meal.
did.
Yeah. And okay, so I started this actually at Green River. In Trinidad, we have a dish called macaroni pie. It's like just a baked mac and cheese
You also have doubles.
and doubles. But I would grate vegetables and mix it into the macaroni pie so I could trick people into
That's the
having
only
vegetables.
vegetables they eat in their lives. You were doing a service to everybody.
I was trying.
Yeah.
But I think taking a break, and like, I'm not saying like, don't have a great time. You don't need drugs to have a great time. I'm not saying any of that. All I'm saying is that if drinking and doing drugs is the only way that you know how to interact with the people around you, it's a bigger conversation than you might be ready for.
I mean, or to block interacting with yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And for
you
me,
don't want to deal with it.
that for me, that was like I had a long I had a long road of a lot of abuse, and my go in the industry here was like, hey everybody, let's take a break, let's rip a shot. Take one person back to the back every once in a while and do a blow of coke. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just like,
Yikes.
it's just like, that's scary, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what this is. This is really weird. And they're like, this is how this restaurant works.
But you're
This is
in
how
it.
the industry
Yeah.
is.
And that is what we have talked about prior, but I always use like the visual example of you go to like any industry bar late at night. You can point out the visual representation of the impact of abuse and coping mechanisms within the hospitality space.
100.
Because you're gonna see like the young, like, you know, like vibrant host or like server that's just like, you know, just happy to be here.
They invited me
You know,
out.
just like
Yeah.
it's just like finally, it's like they have
that's the
finally started
beginning.
talking to me. So like this is great. And then you have, they'll drink only like when they work. But then you'll have like the more seasoned drinkers to where it's medicinal.
Yeah.
That's the word.
High life
Yeah.
and a
Bing,
shot,
bing, bing.
or a beer and a shot.
Yeah.
And
Right. And it's just like, I don't need to look at anything. Like, this is what I need.
But like the
to come down from
toxicity of it all, which you guys have already touched on, but like, look at the order of operations. I don't know if that's right, but like the toxicity of this environment of like, we need to drink or we have to go out or we have to spend money, whether it's supporting your friends or just because you have to. Because I haven't eaten in 8 hours and I've been on my feet and I've been shaking maracas for the last 8 hours, or I've been on the hotline for whatever.
Right.
So we're doing this and it's this norm and like you feel cool when you're doing it, but then all of a sudden this panorama hit and we're all like,
right.
Okay, am I sober now? Am I working out now? Like whatever, however anyone.
I just got plants.
Yeah, whatever it
and
was.
And probably stopped doing a lot of cocaine.
So much.
Yeah.
I'm on my feet. I'm on my feet 15 hours a day. And I was like, so I literally one day I lived at the time I lived in Logan Square, Central Park and Dickens. I walked from my house all the way down north, downtown, around and back. Just because I was like, I have so much energy I can't do anything with. And I would work out for like 5 hours a day. And I was just like, just waiting until.
I wish that I had that one. I just like set up my kitchen like it was work every day and would listen to Brad Leone talk in the background while I ate food over a trash can. But like straight up.
That was like, I was there, and then you said it and you got real deep. And I was like, I respect that.
But like
I just for the sake of comfort, just eating over a trash can. Standing,
just
not sitting.
But we had all this time, and then we start opening up again, and no one wants to go to work because I can speak for myself. Got paid a lot of money to not go to work. Like the government was giving me more money than I was making when I was working 60 hours a week. Running a bar.
I didn't do that the first time. The first time I worked at a CBD company because when all the riots and shit was happening, I was working at a CBD company downtown, and I was like, I can get paid more money to work less hours and have benefits and pay time off.
Right.
This is wild.
I was literally the opposite of the spectrum from Jeremy, whereas I was so distraught because here's another one. We're sitting there. We've invested now. We know we're taking sacrifices by doing the industry that we love and following our passion. I did that twice, and then all of a sudden, neither of those things I could do. And so I was lost. And then I was the slowest I've ever been in my life. I was contemplating my existence, got real dark for a bit. Also, I had just moved in with my partner, which was amazing, but she was working full time. And she was like teaching and dance and doing this stuff. And I had zero purpose. And then all of a sudden,
I understand. My partner's a vet tech, and he went to work 100% of the days. And I was just like, he would like come home and be like, "Oh, what'd you do today?" And I was like, "Are you trying to be mean to me?"
No, right.
But
see, my partner picked up a job that she could, because all of her restaurant industry shut down, her dance in person shut down, her company had to start. So she picked up a job substitute teaching at the high school she went to. And then things started opening up, and I got a job, and we had completely opposite schedules, didn't see each other for months, and then I booked myself so much that 2021 was the busiest year of my life. That was only preceded by the most open part of my life ever. Like it was just immediate opposites. And I said, I got done with this last year, and I just stood at the finish line with my hands on my knees, just breathing, just fuck, that was nuts. And it's like, okay, now let's find the medium. Quit Billy because we needed to be able to focus on Lemon more. Got a part-time job doing a little bit of stuff here on the side, bartending a couple shifts a week, so we could really focus on this, and also so I could set up the structure for myself, my partner. I'm getting married this year. We're opening up a bar.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Shout out to Brittany, you're the best. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I knew I needed to set my priorities right, especially before I get into a business. Of my own.
That's responsible.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to do the same thing. Was it 60 60-20-20? Was that the talk that you had about the money and the finances?
yeah.
Like
Yep.
that stuff.
Marquita Webb
Marquita,
changed
she
my
knows.
life.
We're gonna try to like look into hiring them to come in for our stuff to talk to the staff that we bring in. Like that we talked about that.
Yeah.
We've like that is huge. If I would have been taught that when I started my first job, which by the way had benefits, I was like all this stuff.
But you
making
weren't
more
using
money.
them,
No,
were you?
I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was spending all of my money on alcohol, and then like I think I have a 401k somewhere. I don't even know how to access that. You know what I mean? Like I want
should
people to
look
be
that
able to
up.
come in and like have their options. You choose your life.
And know how to use them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of what we're trying to do. Like I said, back to it, it's just building that culture and building that understanding of like, this can be a profession you can be respected to do. I remember I was working at a hotel downtown, making the most money I've ever made, had the best benefits I ever had, paid off all my debt, and I had a guest sitting at the bar looking at me and going, man, what are you doing at a place like this? You should be, and I said, what? At first, I took it as a compliment. I was like, oh, yeah, I know. I'm really, and I was like, no, fuck that. I was like, what do you think? How do you, and he was like, well, you should be at a place like that's like doing this. And I was like, you know how much they get paid there? And I did exactly that. I switched and went to Billy, and I had the time of my life working at Billy. I've never worked at a place I love more, and I made nothing.
Yep.
But
It's a trade-off.
It's the
a
trade-off, you know?
Like,
and now it doesn't have to be.
I
That's what we
know.
want to do. Is it doesn't have to be a trade-off.
I'm
It
very
can also
excited
just
for
be
y'all
something.
to like do this.
We had so much time as an industry to think about all this stuff, and now we're coming back to it. And of course, we've always had these thoughts to do it, but it took a global pandemic for the majority of us who are grinding day in and day out for a lot of times not a lot of money. Sometimes some people are making money, but it took that to put so many things in perspective. Why do you think everyone dropped out? Why do you think people changed and went back to what they went to major? They did this, they did that. And now how can we repay that? How can we actually, because we started to see these wheels turning. Like it's happening. We just have to continue to do that
and learn.
And we need more people to do it because it can't just be Lemon does it and Big Kids is doing it and this. No, this has to be an entire industry thing where we're all like, listen, this is all wrong.
Let's make some lemonade.
It's been wrong.
You need a big healthy
Change
pour.
it. Let's make lemonade.
I don't want to say it.
I was just gonna say you need a healthy pour of that fresh lemonade.
Oh!
Just saying.
You know, but on your terms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, I see what you did there.
see.
Because it turns out
Actually, technically, it's y'all's terms.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna take that shit. I'm an Aries. Yes. It's on these
We'll
terms.
take it.
but no, I mean, and like, I want to say, like, all of this is wishful thinking.
No, it's
All
not.
of this, no, I mean, it's a beautiful concept. It's really fun to talk about. We can be passionate because we are, but like, we're figuring out how to do it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. It's like, we don't have the answers right now.
No.
And nobody does.
And we're gonna make mistakes.
Oh,
And
for sure.
Yep.
it's part of that is owning that it was a mistake and trying to do better in the future instead of putting a patch on it and being like, that wasn't us.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I say learning. Like, what Big Kids, their model, stuff like that. Like, we're all learning right now, and like, we're gonna find ways that aren't gonna work. We're gonna find ways that are, but as long as we're keeping that conversation open with each other and the bridge for everybody, because we just all want to prosper. This city, I love Chicago, and I just want it to be a place where like, maybe this is the place where things change. And it's already happening. Let's keep doing it.
It's
I mean,
our
Chicago knows transformation. So
Oh yeah.
there's-
Y'all bitches burned this whole thing to the ground, started over.
It's our responsibility to try.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
Especially with us moving up into the position
So
of
you're
like,
committed to the try.
Committed to
Had
the
to bring that back.
grind.
Totally going to be a merch drop later this year.
love it.
I'll buy
You
that
heard it here
t-shirt.
first.
I'll buy that
So-
t-shirt.
Yes.
We are, this is it.
I know.
Max
I know.
is over there
No.
making a
But
new
yes.
minute marker
But-
because
but
we went
also-
past
yes.
all the minute markers we already
went
got.
past. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
Oh, no.
before we do the things that we know that we have to do,
Yes.
this was so much fucking fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Thank
had a
you
lot of fun.
so
Me
much.
too.
Thank you. How was your time with us?
I mean,
We were so excited.
Yeah.
The whole time.
It's going to be really weird to listen to the podcast that I am on for you guys, but I have to listen to your podcast. So like, I will be a point when it's really weird, but I'm like, but otherwise I don't have anything to do today when I'm listening. This is when I listen to their podcast. I just am on it.
We were really bummed because we were supposed to do this right before the new year, and Zach got COVID.
I got that Roni.
Got that
dude.
Roni.
It happens.
And we were
It's
like,
out
oh no,
there.
is it still going to happen? Are we going to be able to reschedule?
I thought Jeremy was going to go on by himself, and I was mortified. Like, for a hot second. Like, I was very sad.
Well, having met you now, I wouldn't have let that happen. Because first of all, it
wouldn't
took
try to
me
let that happen.
literally up until 3 minutes
No
ago to
offense,
realize
Jeremy.
that both of you are wearing the same fucking hat, just in different colors.
No.
Because I've been too busy looking into your eyes.
I didn't even. Okay, we gotta wrap up. That was
That's
just like,
it.
yeah, I was like, that's it.
No, thank you so much, you two. This
Thank you.
platform,
Appreciate it.
What you're doing this is how we do it. This
Yes.
is how we make change.
You're the voice.
Danke.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you. Like, appreciate it. Really, thank you for what
I'm
you do.
crawling out of my skin.
Keep it going, because the things that I've learned on your podcast have helped us even in our conversations for our new business to approach it in a certain
We
way.
literally have moments where we're like, okay, as a group, we have to listen to this podcast, this one, this
Hell yeah.
episode, because we're like, this is what we're going to implement for this. And like, you guys are giving us the tools in the conversation, and you're talking to the right people. We're very lucky to be a part of that conversation. But thank you, like, really.
My
truly.
face is pink.
Yeah, I'm sweating. So
We're like two of the most uncomfortable people in the world. It's like,
but we're gonna, but
thank you.
yeah,
No,
we're gonna
but for
say
real
thank you.
though.
We're gonna receive it.
yes, we're receiving
Yes.
it. I'm always like, we ramble on the internet and people listen to it.
Yes, they do.
But
A lot.
I
Yeah.
feel like the things that I talk about here are the same things that I was talking about with my like kitchen bros when I was executive chefing. Like, I want everyone's voice to be able to be heard, because you can talk loud as fuck, but it doesn't mean anyone's gonna listen to you. But it's up to us as the people who are like trying to stop the gatekeeping from happening to allow for growth and development at all times. Like, I think it's something I learned from my niece, who I love her to death. She's like 23 and terrifying. I wish that I had the ability to just like be as confident as she is right now. But I learned from her that you deserve a lot more than people are paying you and expecting of you. And if you don't make that shit known, they will take advantage of you forever. So I hope that as like an industry, we can move forward by like acknowledging that kids actually know what the fuck they're saying, and we should listen to them because
Yeah.
they're less programmed than we are.
Thank.
True.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Well,
Don't give that sigh. I know
No.
what that sigh means.
I know. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, but I just have one more thing to add.
Zach's ready.
Because again, thank you, Zach and Jeremy, for your kind words. But we really want this platform, and we feel like it is extremely important to make sure that this is a communal platform, and that is why I want to bring some attention to Shop Talk once again, which is just a solid shout out mention. We'll go ahead and send all of these details on social media. For Josephina Aletki for like literally
Whoop, whoop.
doing the goddamn thing.
These were
Thank you
amazing
so
RTG
much.
cocktails.
And
Thank
it's
you.
just like showing and highlighting the doers and makers of the industry. Not the brands.
Yes.
Like nothing against nothing. Yeah, I was just like nothing against the brands. We'll figure that out. But
This is for the people.
It's for the people. And we want to give shine to the people that make all aspects of this industry.
The
so
actual
special.
craft of.
Absolutely. So, Zach and Jeremy, do you have anything else to say on your end before I give a shout out to
How can we
our
find y'all?
sponsors, and how can we find you? Yeah.
You can find us at lemon_Chicago on Instagram. And also mine is at Sazerac. So
Yes, it is.
SAZR.ZAK. I make
Love
the best Sazerac in the city of Chicago.
That's
and I'm
amazing.
going to put that out there.
I've never
Wow.
had one.
You should have mine, and then you'll never have another one.
Oh, dang.
Wow. You
So
can
we're gonna
find
go.
me. I guess I was told recently by my beautiful partner, shout out to Emily, that I have to change my handle now because you can find me at Billy_boy_bartender. But boy is spelled like BOIX, like LaCroix boy.
Yes. I
but
do know that.
Now
Yeah.
I ain't a LaCroix boy or Billy boy anymore, so I guess it's gonna have to change at some point. But I'll keep it like that for a second. So
Okay.
Billy boy bartender.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out.
Well, if it changes, just let us know and we'll just update it.
For sure.
So yeah,
I'll do
we'll
it.
make sure that the people
Yeah.
can find you.
I have some anxiety about it, but
Okay.
I just lived there for 4.5 years,
Okay.
so like, you know.
I feel like I'm holding on
Fine.
to it. That's fair.
They're
Well,
gonna do great.
as always, I want to give a solid shout out to Blind Barber for hosting this necessary conversation.
See.
Also, your plant daddy for the aesthetic with these pots and these plants. Also, a shout out to our crew. Shout out to Max. Hi, Max.
Yeah, Max.
Max.
Yeah.
Also, Ashley Christine of Garnet is not with us today. However, our amazing
Boy,
colleague
Ryan.
Ryan is here. Also, Cortez holding it down on the documentation side. Also, thank you so much to Athletic Brewing. We really enjoy you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And also, I am just known at Graham, and you can find me on Instagram at What's Biko. And again, Josephina Aletki doing the damn thing with Shop Talk. And we're going to put all of that information on the gram. So follow us, but then follow Terms of Service as well. Well,
But follow
me.
everyone.
Follow everyone.
involved in this episode
Absolutely.
as well. You don't get a prize except for more information from us on a daily basis.
For sure.
My name is Nariba Shepherd. You can find me
Don't sound so sad.
on Instagram at Rebaru, REBARU. Did I do it right this time?
Yeah, you did.
Nice. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
And wait,
There's more?
happy birthday, Zach.
Yes.
happy
Because it's
birthday.
going to land on your
my
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Brr, brr, brr.
Peace.